So do you think that it costs too much to go to Walt Disney World for the average family? And do you think that the parks are too crowded? What are your thoughts on this? So, welcome to the Detroit Disney Duo, and thank you for subscribing if you have already, and if you have not, just go ahead and mash that subscribe button, shall you? Anyways, today, it's a beautiful day in Detroit, wishing I was in Florida. No, I really love the Detroit area, and I also love the Orlando area. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. I just said what they were. We're going to be talking about the price to get into Walt Disney World, and how cost has been rising, and also is it too much for your family, and also is the parks too crowded? Is the parks too crowded for some, including I think I'll talk a little bit about the annual pass that they're not giving out anymore, and how this plays into everything. And we'll just go from there. But anyways, before we get started, go ahead and mash the subscribe button, shall you? And let's just go ahead and jump into things, shall we? So let's talk about the price. First of all, the prices have gone up immensely. Not just during the last year or so. The prices have gone up for a long period of time now. Since 2018, the prices have slowly crept up. Now we're way over 100 and maybe $120 a day to go to the parks. And here's the thing, right? I do know that you can actually, if you buy the tickets in bulk, so let's say you're going 5 days or more to the parks, which, if you're visiting from outside of Orlando, maybe outside of Florida, and you're coming in, most people are probably going to be getting more than a 1 day pass, I suspect, or like a group of one, going for a week. At least that's what I would do. But some people just like to pop in and pop out, just go for 1 day. They're there seeing family. Everybody's going, and maybe they don't have enough money for all of that. Take the family for 5 days. I mean, that's a lot of money. It's like 500 times 5 is $2,500. It gets really expensive. But if you do buy those like a 5 day park hopper or something like that, it does get a little cheaper. I say a little with an emphasis on little. So now it is a lot for a family. Now, a lot of families, they don't even go. Some families never come to Walt Disney World, and a lot of families, they only go once in a lifetime. And they're not like other people who are able to go all of the time. And when I say all the time, maybe 2 to 3 times a year is a lot. So that's something to think about. Also, if you love to come down here, and this is how we started saving money, and I don't want to go on to a big spiel about DVC, but if you are an avid person who is going to be coming to Walt Disney World for some period of time, a couple of times a year at least, it probably is best for you to join DVC, because you're going to be saving on hotel rooms immensely. Instead of your family maybe staying at the all-star resorts, you will be able to spend your time staying at a more upscale resort that has more room space, and it might be more optional for you to save a ton of money. So that's just a thought for those people looking to save money. Okay, so some things that have caused us to spend more money, is, let's just take the dining plan. So the dining plan that we used to get used to entail us getting a lot of snacks, 3 good meals and whatnot. And even though we did pay a lot of money ahead of time, I'm not sure that the amount of money that you paid ahead of time really averaged out to equal the cost of you getting all those snacks and maybe all those some of the meals too, maybe included. The snacks, of course, are super important, especially when there is a Disney festival going on, like the Flower and Garden, or something like that in Epcot, and you go around the little kiosks and you get your snacks. And you get to, I don't even call them snacks at that point in time. You get your little tastings of things, and that's where I would use my snack points the most. But since we don't have those snack points and you have to pay everything out of your pocket, then that's something that really is going to be adding up. $10 here, $10 there. It starts adding up, and next thing you know, you're spending $1,000. So another thing that they just started to do, and this is brand new. This is brand new for the Walt Disney World Resorts, is that they are getting rid of plastic bags. You'll have to buy a bag and take it with you, some type of reusable bag. So you get your stuff at the park, and then if you don't have a plastic bag or something or a reusable bag that you've taken with you to the park, then you're not going to be able to take your stuff back. I mean, there's just nowhere to hold it. And I don't know if this is going to backfire on Disney. I mean, I understand that you want to reduce the environmental costs of the plastic bags, but at the same time, that's very inconveniencing for a lot of people who really don't carry a lot of stuff into the parks, and let alone a bag. I'm just saying. But who knows? Maybe now people will start buying these backpacks, and you'll see more backpacks, which will add on to security lines, and the wait to get into the park will be longer. I don't know. So I suspect it's going to be an interesting trade-off. I'm just saying. So let's see here. So they've also made... things have got more expensive now. They have the Genie Plus instead of getting the Fast Passes like you did before, which were free, by the way. And now they've replaced it with another system where you have to pay, you can pay at an exorbitant amount of cost. I seen one time recently that somebody paid over $100 to get into the Lightning Lane. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money. Who the heck is paying $100 for the Lightning Lane? I don't know that I would do it, but somebody did. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think when that is available and it's that steep, I think there are some people who just really want to cut the line that are willing to pay that kind of money, for a couple $100. I mean, if you think about it, if you're there and the line is 2 hours long, that's $50 an hour. Maybe you're going to make that working somewhere overtime or somewhere close. I don't know. But, if two people, it's crazy stuff. Anyhow, so, So annual passes, do I think that, I do know that people are saying that the crowds are getting, the parks are getting more crowded. And I do know that some people feel uncomfortable with that. I probably would sort of myself coming out of the pandemic, or with anything else that's happening. But, for the most part, I do see and I still believe that it's probably less crowded than it was before when we had everybody park hopping all over the place. And I think they should really open up park hopping, just make it back to the way it was before. I don't see any reason why we have to keep on keeping the lid on people going from one place to the other. It's kind of doesn't make any sense to me. So I think that if you went back to complete normal, where anybody can go anywhere at any specific time and go to any park with a park hopper, that probably would be the best idea to loosen up even more crowded crowds in the parks. Number two is, you know what I would do? I would definitely bring back annual passes. Now, I don't. This may add to the park, but at the same time, if you had more annual passes and you let people go where they want to, this may mix things up more, and the annual pass people would not, instead of telling them, okay, well, you can go on this day, this day, this day, this day. Well, maybe they would be more apt to spread that time across more days. I don't know. But also the fact that if you have annual passes, Disney was saying that they were losing on annual passes. Well, yeah, you're not getting, the $120 or whatever it is per day, whatever the amount per that day is for the admission cost. But you are having people who are coming there who are spending big time dollars, because basically you have also increased the price of food. And also the price of just items there overall, even though things still probably end with .99, I'm just saying, which to me is a mind gimmick, saying that, oh, you're getting 1 cent off than what something else is. I don't know, .99. I don't know. Actually, I heard there's something to do with those numbers, 99, 98, or something like that, 97. I've never seen one at 97. But I think it's some type of inventory ordeal. I heard once, like, they use at Costco. I don't know. That depends on whether it's ever, that merchandise is ever coming back again. Then they mark it down to 98. If it's just on sale, it's 99. There's some retail secrets. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay. But, and I'm not in retail, by the way. So, yeah. So another thing is that, the annual pass holders, if you had them there, they would be spending a lot more money, and I think that they would definitely be going to the parks a lot more. And I think it would be a kind of like maybe a positive. I think it would be a wash. I'm pretty sure that you could find somebody who would spend over another $1,000 on food over the course of a year that you may or may not get before. I don't know. That's just a questionable thing. I'm not a statistical person who's trying to figure out Disney's income. So, but I would definitely like the annual passes to come back, and I think you would also see a lot of people coming back that to there that have in the past kind of stayed away from coming to the parks as of lately. So, anyhow, so the last thing that we talked about parks, we talked about the price, we talked about another piece of the puzzle here is that Bob Iger has actually come out and said that he recognizes that maybe we made a lot of changes too soon, meaning that some of the changes that they have made may have been very drastic in price, and just by him acknowledging that the price has been gone way up, is it possible that Bob Iger is going to change this? Now, Bob Iger also made the statement that he may not be around much longer, as the interim CEO, and which is, how long does he really have to fix anything? Because they're already saying that they've been looking for a replacement for him, and they may or may not have found that person, and we just don't know if Bob Iger is going to be able to change anything much more, since he's been in. Now, so hopefully he's steadfastly working towards resolving a lot of the long-standing complaints that have been going on as of late. So we'll see what happens, but I do know that he's been listening. They've had a lot of listening to do to people, and hopefully we'll have to just wait and wait it out and see. And hopefully by 2024, a lot of things will change. It's already only March, which is, the first quarter of the year. So, One thing that I talked about before is they're still saying that the Disney Plus streaming is really hurting the business still because of it's not making enough money. Personally, I really feel that eventually here that theaters are gonna come back. I think maybe in 2024. I'm really thinking that that's going to be the case where the theaters it could come back. They have started to already, and people have been seeing a lot of movies in the movie theaters. And that's where the movies make a lot of money. But I think that the content that they put on Disney Plus, we have to have more creative characters, new storylines, and that's where Disney, I think, has had an issue. I feel like they have been in a non-creative mode where they have not brought out any new content except these redos and add-ons to their current storylines. Just saying. So that also has to do with the way how the parks work. So if one part of the business is failing, right? I don't want to say failing because it's not failing, but it's not doing so well, and the other part of the business is doing well, then you're going to have this balancing of things just to clear your balance sheet, and you're going to have to balance the businesses so that it kind of just evens out. And I think what's happening now is they're heavy on making profits in the parks, making up for the cost of the Disney Plus. I had a whole video before. You can go back and watch it about what I think that they could do to rectify the Disney Plus situation. I will not talk about it now. Anyhow, with that said, I think that's all I have for you guys today. It's been a long video, longer than normal, and I hope you guys have a great one. And for now, over and out.